Welcome to Booze and Ballin and Game Set Mash. If you don't follow me on Game Set Mash, my other podcast, it's Sports and Bourbon. Follow me there as well. Welcome back for part 2. Here's a little more with Jared. RD, Master Distiller from RD1. Stuff's delicious. Here we go. So we're not going to jeopardize your entire night, but I do want to talk about the KBF. I want to talk about festivals and stuff that you guys do. First of all, I know we talked about this earlier. I want to point this that I got from you at the festival. This is one of you were saying your limited release, you need a certain amount of barrels. Your Japanese Mizunara. This is one of my favorite bourbons drinks, period. This thing is so good. That's one of those ones you say where you need that certain amount of barrels. And that was like KBF, but that was just a lead-in. You're doing KBF this year. What else do you guys do festival-wise? Do you outreach? Where do you guys go travel? Where can people find you throughout like a year, a season, or where?
Yeah. So a lot of times right now the sales team takes care of that. So I run into Brian, Elizabeth, maybe Mark. These are some of our team, Sydney. We're just kind of all sorts of different places. We do smaller events all the way to like the Whiskey Riots. There's a few festivals that we pick now because we just like them. So I really enjoy doing I think it's the Southeast Whiskey Festival in Beaumont, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It's one that I've been to a few years. I swear, I go down there and they invite me into their house to eat dinner. It's kind of like peaceful.
It's a friendly festival.
It is a very friendly festival. So we do that kind of thing. I'm available to do things if somebody wants to. It's just, as I mentioned before earlier, I think before we were setting up that, I'm a small kid and I don't like traveling a ton, but whenever I do come out, I have fun meeting people. So I don't have like a dead list on that, but we do stuff in Kentucky. So occasionally if we're doing a whiskey dinner, which we'll pair with a restaurant.
That's Todd written all over right there.
That I don't know if you two saw on RD1 socials, that whiskey dinner, the pairing with RD, and I feel like
I was jealous. I was jealous I couldn't go.
I was thinking
Todd's a whole food and beverage series going right now. So
he's the one that knows how to cook it. I'm just the one who likes to enjoy it.
But I saw that. I'm like, that is such a great idea because if you go to like the Finger Lakes and you go to Napa, you have like wine pairings and it's always like cheese or chocolates or this or that. But my friends actually just went to out of Philadelphia. They went to a bourbon dinner or a whiskey dinner. I forget what it was called, where it was Chris Taconic hosted it.
Yeah.
And they did a whole dinner where they went to this event where it was a huge gathering and they all did pairings, courses with whiskeys and stuff. And I saw what you guys posted on social and I cried a little because I didn't get to taste it, but like it looks so intricate. Like more of that needs to be done in the whiskey and bourbon world because food pairings, which is what I'm doing with my content, is it really does pair kind of like wine does with pairings. But that dinner, I'm sorry, that dinner looked amazing.
Yeah. It was a great time. That was at Doc Crow's. If you're going to Louisville, check them out as a place to go eat. They did an absolute fabulous job. I've enjoyed almost all of the ones that we've done. The one caveat is we did one whiskey dinner that I unfortunately got food poisoning from.
Oh, Lord.
So now I have
That's unfortunate.
Jared doesn't eat fish on work trips.
I didn't mean to make you bring this up. I apologize.
Unless you come to Maryland, you'll be fine. That's our main thing.
Or the coastal Carolinas. We got you.
It's more of an amusing story. So there's some times where you're mingling with the spirit world because you're, sick as a dog. So no fish for me. But it was I've had a great time with it. I've learned some like interesting flavor pairings. Like our French oak surprisingly did very well with pickles. Never would have guessed that.
That makes me think of
really bad.
We have a pickleback shot, which is Jameson and pickle juice. So that kind of sounds good together.
Yeah, Amberana and cheese does not work.
Amberana and what?
Cheese.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, that
you know,
does,
actually,
that
does
sounds
not
like it would
sound
not be
wonderful.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that,
Cinnamon
Yeah.
and
So-
cinnamon doesn't go a lot.
If you're gonna do a food pairing, how does the research for does that happen with you guys, or do you leave that up to the location of the restaurant? Like, this is on you.
Oh, we let them do it. You know, there's great folks out in the culinary industry that, you know, they live and breathe this stuff. They think about it just as intensely as I think about flavor profiles in whiskey. They're thinking about flavor profiles in food.
Jealous
And
you get to think about whiskey all day. I wish I could do that.
you can think about it. You just can't do anything about it.
I can think about it. I just can't drink it during
Yeah, you
work.
just can't have whiskey and crackers for breakfast, like Jared
Yeah.
does.
My
Yeah,
office is
I
one of
mean,
the coolest
cracker
ones,
bread.
though.
I can think
Yeah.
about whiskey at work, but Lord knows if I touch it, I'm screwed.
I mean, my bosses do have a lot of whiskey in their office, so it'd probably be okay, but
It
not
should,
to the level that you get to.
it should be in all parts of life. Well,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you want me working on your car after a pour. Let's just be honest with that.
that is true. I guess maybe not certain industries.
Maybe not everything, just most things.
Before we leave this, I do got to ask.
Well,
'cause
actually, before you're going to that, I have one more whiskey question.
Oh,
Tom.
do it. No, don't do it.
No, do it. Don't. Okay.
No, you do your question first.
Besides RD1, what is like your go-to pour?
Ooh, good question.
You know, I have so much whiskey from the warehouse in it that I don't buy a lot.
That makes
I mean,
sense.
valid.
Yeah.
When you're blending that much, that's pretty
Yeah.
valid.
Yeah, like I get asked.
And it's a little different when you're already having pours during the day, and then you're coming home and you're like, do I really need another pour? Like,
Yeah, and it's funny because like I get that question a lot, and I always give this like lame cop out answer, and it's honest. It's like I have so much bourbon in my life that I don't need any more because it's like okay, I have a warehouse full. Like it's
Right.
like
Yeah,
barrels
right.
on-
That's your breakfast, so it's not like you leave work and you're like, you know what, honey, let's go out, have dinner, and I'm gonna have a pour of that. You're not gonna go to Neat and pick out a pour or something. It makes
Yeah,
sense. You
and-
drink it all day,
See-
so you're not going out at night to have it.
All right.
Todd,
Like,
you
I
drink
mean,
it all day regardless either way.
Yeah. I mean, like, do you go out for a beer at least or something? Like, is that
Oh,
something you
yeah.
go for?
And that's always funny. I also get that question is like, what do you sip on at the end of the day? And I'm always like Coors Light, and people find that funny. but-
Coors Light, I love Coors Light.
Yeah, but I also will do cocktails and stuff. But I have a small kid, and you can't be drinking a bunch of whiskey and chasing around little boys. So.
Hey, ask Todd about that.
Oh,
yeah,
my
so-
kid, yeah.
Little girl, yeah. Cannot confirm.
wife
I
and I
chase
have-
around
we
dogs.
have to-
Todd's daughter makes him drink.
Oh, she makes me want to drink.
But
my wife-
There's the difference, JB. That's the difference.
I got one story about my son I want to share because I think it's very funny.
We need to hear this.
Yes, we need to hear it.
So-
Let's go.
In my house, I talk about flavor profiles quite a bit because that's part of my job.
Bringing work home. Makes sense.
Yeah, and my wife, she has an undergraduate degree in food science, but she has a PhD in Alzheimer's, so I can talk to her about food sciencey things. And we will talk about flavor profiles because, like, I'll give her sensory stuff and ask her what she thinks about different things that we've done. So, like, you know, Sister City, she gets to try everything before, like, first. That being said,
Yeah.
she doesn't like any of it at all. So.
So what does she hate the
we're
least?
sitting down at dinner eating, and my son is describing the flavor profile of his dinner. And it just
At
like
7?
Yeah.
yeah, 6.
Runs in
but
the
yeah,
family.
he's almost 7. And he's
Runs in
describing
the family.
yeah, and it just like cracked me up, and I just like looked at my wife and I was just like, Jen, do you hear this kid? And he goes, yeah.
Kid's gonna be a genius.
Yeah, so he kind of has his own scale and of the way he talks about stuff. And that being said, people always ask, is he good at it? And I'm like, no, because like when you start doing this, it's building a vocabulary. So there's this hilarious thing he's done where he gets licorice and coconut confused.
Wildly different, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, but he's 6. So like, yeah,
Right?
He's trying though. So is he gonna follow in your footsteps?
I don't know. Maybe.
That kid's gonna be smarter than all three of us combined, though. So it doesn't really matter, guys. It's
Well,
it's okay.
It's funny because I'll bring him to the distillery here at the gift shop on the weekend whenever I'm popping in to do stuff. Or like we've had a ton of snow days in Lexington, and I've had a few days where I need to go work on stuff here, and I'll just plop him down. So he's very comfortable here, and he just like walks around like he owns this place, and it like makes the patrons really confused what this like little boy is doing.
He walks up. Have you tried the French oak?
Yeah. They're just like, what this little guy's just like acts like he owns it here, and I'm like, yeah, that's my kid.
I can just imagine that kid with like a Nintendo Switch walking around, like just casually walking through. You're like,
the
you should
Amberata
influence
here is
him on
nice.
sales.
Just,
Yeah, you should influence on the sales and be like, hey, push this one. And just walk up. My favorite's this. Like, what? Excuse me?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as he grows up, because he doesn't quite understand what I do yet. He understood I was a scientist and then I was a teacher, but now he's just like, you make whiskey? And I'm like, he's like, what's that? I'm like, it's an adult drink.
brown.
he's
It's dirty brown
allowed.
water.
He's
You're okay.
allowed in the distillery now. In a couple of years, he's not going to be allowed in the distillery.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. He'll probably be allowed in it. It just won't be.
Don't
in
touch Dad's projects. That's all that matters.
It won't be in the bonded space. I'll just say that.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Fair.
We appreciate you coming on. I was going to point out the
Thank you so
fact
much.
that you finished dead last in 2 fantasy leagues this year, but I won't do that to you. Although
You already did.
Wait, I kind of just.
Oh, I've
Right.
got
Oh,
plenty of
right.
rating.
Exactly.
But did
Yeah.
you get any punishments?
You know, my group that I do that with is one group's I have through grad school, and the other one is the guys that I've known since I was, in elementary school. And no, we don't do punishments other than getting some weird Discord titles. So
Okay,
I
interesting.
wasn't-
That's fair.
Yeah, so like the guy who came in first 2 years ago, actually came in dead last. I was right above him in that one. So
Little bragging rights. Love it.
yeah. He had changed his Discord title to like Sports God, and then I think it got changed to like Fallen Sports God.
Having run a Discord, I totally get that. It's like you
Fair
understand. Right?
enough. I couldn't let you get out of here without bringing that up.
Oh no, it's
We
fun.
are a sports podcast, so we have to
I
ask.
put a little too much hope in the Bengals. So I
As a Ravens fan, I wouldn't put any hope in them. I put hope in Jamar Chase getting like 2,000 yards.
I
That's
put
about it.
hope in the Bengals I have loved that team, not as my favorite team, but just so much potential in that Bengals team for so many years that I've lost so much on them.
yeah,
Their defense sucks.
yeah, and our O line's not super great. So
Oh, you're a Bengals fan? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know what,
Wow.
JB? I'm gonna
I
knock
feel
you.
worse
I'm gonna
than
kick
Todd.
you out of this
I feel worse than
meeting
Todd.
now.
so
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Later.
I'll be honest. I'm pretty busy, so I don't have a ton of time to watch a lot of sports, because like Kentucky basketball is probably the real religion of this area. And I get-
My buddy went to
yeah.
Kentucky, like a kid I went to
Yeah.
work with, and he's like, "Did you see the game last night?" I'm like,
That's like
No, I
CCU
didn't watch
football for
Kentucky.
us.
You don't go to church on Sunday. You go to
I don't-
Kentucky basketball games.
I'm like, I didn't go out and watch Kentucky basketball. They're not my team.
I kind of followed a little bit, but like I'm pretty busy with doing the distillery stuff, taking care of the kid.
I mean, you got a little bit of
you know.
whiskey and stuff to deal with, right? So
yeah, the Master Distiller game's pretty chill, I guess.
Yeah, right. All I'm saying is he might have to bribe
that
some of
is
the
my
Kentucky
favorite clip
players.
from this all. Man.
Yeah.
Right there.
yeah, the sarcasm.
Yep.
So,
Can we get that guy on the Master Distiller, the funny Master Distiller? Is he next?
Oh, bold.
Oh, you're gonna.
He
you're
said
gonna be
it. He
sought-
said it,
You're
not
gonna be
me. He
sought
said it.
after this.
That's fine. He can cover me. I already trashed the Bengals, and then I did that. It's fine. We're good.
Well,
He's already on his streak. You just need to go for a third.
you're fine. Yeah, I grew up watching the Bengals. That's kind of the team that's around here. So,
Right. Yeah.
I remember watching them in like 2010, where they were awful, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
rooting
sounds about
for
right.
it. So
And rooting for it so you get a better draft pick makes a lot of sense.
See,
Yeah.
I think the
In it
think
for
the
the long
Bengals are
game.
an offensive line from being good.
that's fair.
That's how
Yeah,
I. That's how I.
You
look.
meant defense.
Well, no, I think. Well, you got to keep Joe Burrow from getting smacked every play.
Yeah, because he
If he can
gets hurt.
stay on his feet,
Yeah.
he can
He's
be
fu-
a
he's
great
good.
quarterback. That's
Yeah,
This is
the
what
no,
problem.
happens when you
that-
pay your
that's all it
QB
is.
$500 million a year. Like,
So
No
one
money.
of a funny sports / whiskey story is that I rolled a barrel over my foot right before Thanksgiving. It actually made me
Oh,
miss part of
Lord.
the season. And so I'm at the
Barrel over your foot?
Like full barrel?
no, it was a swollen barrel. So I had put a bunch of water into it. It was an empty one that I was swelling to do something to.
Okay.
And it was heavier than a light barrel, like an empty barrel, but it was. So anyways,
Still
I
be
rolled
enough.
it was still pretty heavy, and I rolled it was rolling it on its head. So,
Yeah.
and it missed, went between my ankle and my steel toe boot steel toe.
Oof.
So it like hit it just perfect.
I
So
feel that.
it put me up. I was in a boot for a while. Anyways, I'm at the foot doctor because like I need to go to the doctor to try to break my foot. And I'm in there, and this guy, UK's got a really good sports medicine, which they stuck me in that group because it was a foot injury. And he's like, "Okay, do you got any other questions?" Like at the end of the thing, I go, "Yeah, what's turf toe?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, let me explain it to you." So he gets up on the whiteboard and explains turf toe to me, and I'm like, "Cool."
You
Okay.
might be the only person outside of the NFL who knows what turf toe is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could explain it, but it was.
I don't
I
think
was like,
anybody
"What
can
is
explain
this?"
turf toe.
It's the little bone right between your big toe and the toe over.
It was some
Weak,
kind of
it's
like a
inflamed.
Once again,
tendon
can't
or-
explain it.
The tendon with a bone like yeah. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, and I was asking about like what
Noted.
does it do and all this, and then the doctor was just like, "Oh yeah, I'll explain it." So yeah, I'm sitting there, my foot's like swollen twice the size it should be, and I'm wanting to know about turf toe.
I mean, that's
Well,
the
as
most
mean, that's a
Joe
fair
Rogan,
question
I have
to
a foot
ask.
injury too.
fair question. Most Kentucky thing ever to get crushed by a barrel. Your foot crushed by a barrel, asking about a football thing. Like, come on, like
Well,
you
I think
can't ask for anything more.
the more amusing part was whenever I checked into the doctor, they were like, "Did you do this at home or at work?"
Oh, workers' comp. Let's go.
I was like, "Oh, this is a work injury," but they're like, "Well, occasionally we get someone at home where it crushes their foot."
With a barrel.
That's wild.
That's also a very Kentucky thing.
So, did you guys get to try the oak and maple just before we forget?
That is what I
Yeah, I
am
did.
drinking right now. Yeah.
Oh, so
So
good.
I did finish mine, and incredible. It's better than one of my favorite distillery maple versions.
And
And I won't
Maple,
say
a
any
lot
more
of
than
times,
that.
just like the Ambrana, is too sweet, and this one is not. It's not like, oh my god, this is like. And I feel like, and I wanted to ask you about the proof, like 99.9, and you have 101. Are you just escaping the bottle and bond, or what's going on? What's like,
no,
he's just towing around the bottle and bond.
no.
You can't. Well, you can't bottle and bond a finish.
No,
No.
you can't. No.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. You might be able to because you can bottle and bond a gin if you wanted.
No, well, that's true.
interesting.
There might,
So-
yeah, technically there might be a
Well,
way.
it's all about the licensing and stuff. It's not necessarily
Yeah.
like the
It's
proof.
a legal. It's a legal thing.
Little loophole.
I wouldn't say a gray area, but it's a legal statistic that no one's ever gone for.
Yeah, I maybe you can try it. I guess I could submit a cola and see if they say. That'd be funny just to see like what it fits all the other criteria. It's just a
Game set mash, double oak, maple finish, bottle and bond only.
The nose on the oak maple one is it's kind of perplexing to me because I get so much sweetness maple, but it is completely accompanied by the oak.
I would say for
Like,
me, it's like
it's
more
so-
oak forward.
Yeah, I get so much sweet wood and then the maple, but it's not just like I'm nosing a sweet maple. There's that
It's almost
that
like a
sweet
glazed
wood in
donut with
there.
maple topping.
a lot of
I'm
times
not getting the
people
donut.
will kind of describe this
No,
one.
like that when you have that donut, you smell.
No, I know, but
that's-
like
yeah.
I like when I do that, I get the donut or the doughy like notes. Like this is just like way oak for me,
I get so much of the
with
sweet
like a
oak
little
in
bit
there.
of like syrup, like
Mhm.
just
It's I've heard it
it's reminding
described
me
as
of back
like
home.
you're eating a short stack of pancakes.
That makes sense. I see that.
Fair.
But the way we do it is a little different. So, a lot of maple, they're using maple syrup barrels, and I have nothing against that. Just being in line with their other stuff, we actually use these chains for that. So,
Oh,
okay.
that's
these-
cool.
These chains are have are maple syrup barrels that have been infused with maple syrup. It's dry aged for a period of time. And then we drop those down in there. And then what's fun is that since I use these chains, I can do other things to them. So like if you come to the distillery, you might see where I'll smoke this chain before we put it in.
That's cool. So you
Oh.
guys just cut up barrels and put them on like fishing line, basically.
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
I would say, what's holding it together? Because if you
it's
use
this,
twine or something.
Stainless steel braided cable.
Okay, because the stainless has like no impact on the whiskey, right?
If you use the right grade. If you use the wrong grade, it'll turn the whiskey black.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So one of the things is that iron contamination in whiskey is real. So if you break a drill bit off into a barrel when you're sampling it, the iron causes the whiskey oxidation pathway to go haywire and causes the tannins to turn black. Kind of
Has
like
that happened?
Huh?
Has it happened to you when you're drilling a barrel?
I'm sure that's happened.
With the drill bit?
Yeah, it's happened once to me, but what I did was it broke off in the wood. So then we pulled the barrel out of the stack, and then I used a hole saw to cut out that stave and made a new bunghole. So
That's a good way to take care of it.
Shit, that works right there. So hold on real quick, Todd.
2 hours.
Yeah, go ahead.
So do you use different drill bits now that you've experienced that? Like, have you found, okay, I need to buy something different to like for that reason?
No, because all drill bits will break on me. I worked on all 200 of these barrels that we have for decoration. The green screen that's not.
He's playing into it. He's playing into it now. I love it.
So they just will break. They'll dull. And so I get really good drill bits. I was actually joking about that with the distillery manager or the tasting room manager today, that I was like, yeah, I have my favorite brand of drill bits. Never thought I would say that.
So that chain that you put in, how do you put that in? How long does it stay in the whole time? Does it get used multiple barrels? How do you use that?
This is kind of a one and done. So we use it once and then it's complete. But what's good about these chains, and I'll bring it back on, is these chains are usually used wood that would have been disregarded. It would have been unable to be used for whiskey barrels because they have structural issues, but they're flavorfully fine. So
you can't store whiskey in it, but it still has all the profile that you want.
Yeah,
so that's,
and you can toast
it's new wood.
Yeah, it's brand new French oak in this case, the one I have here.
Okay.
French oak itself is a challenging wood to make barrels out of. They have to split the wood. They can't quarter saw it like you would in American oak. It's the system in France is very regulated. Only 1% of the trees are allowed to be cut.
Really?
And there's a lot of waste wood afterwards. And historically, what they would do is they would actually burn that wood in the bending process of the barrel. Because the way you bend a barrel is you build a fire on the inside ring of it, and then you put water on the outside and then tighten it up. You use a windlass and do that. Nowadays, they use different heaters and things like that to get that same approach. But then this wood is so valuable because French oak is so expensive.
So you're not wasting bad barrels. You're not wasting bad state. Like you can put it on there and use that to infuse or flavor.
Exactly. You can use this to get that same profile you could in a more sustainable way, because something that was going to be thrown away or burnt is now valuable. And this is something that the wine industry really brought forward, because wine industry folks like using neutral barrels to age, to let wine sit. But then occasionally they were like, it could be cool if we could add additional oak to this to get those flavor profiles. Now, when we're in whiskey, we can use that same thing. And there's all sorts of staves that are cut up on these chains that you can play with. For us, like I said, we like this French oak one or the maple syrup staves. They're great. And that lets us control that. So either I can like smoke it, like I said, like I'm not gonna be able to smoke the whole barrel. Like I don't know how that would work, like a bonfire, and I drop a barrel on it,
then pull it out mid-fire.
Like, it's not gonna work now.
Yeah, this is It
10
lets
seconds
you
too
do-
late.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that like different whiskey traditions across the world have different thoughts on this. The Scotch whiskey folks do not like this at all. They said no to this approach in Scottish whiskey. Because
It
there was
still
a
tastes like garbage though, so it doesn't matter. It's okay.
well, each tradition. I'm not going to poo-poo any tradition,
Yeah, JB,
But-
don't lead him into that.
Hey, we're gonna poo-poo the we'll poo-poo the outcome.
No, you
So-
will.
the but that's just one of those things that, and there's stuff in the US tradition that we can't do. So one of those things is that with other whiskey traditions, having various wine barrels, beer barrels, things like that wouldn't be something that people would necessarily have to declare on the label. It would just be part of the whiskey blend. But in the US, you have to declare everything on the label that you did. So, say for a minute I had, French oak in a cognac, or I had a cognac barrel with a Sauterne finish blended together, two different whiskeys. All of that has to be on the label and declared.
That's what you were saying about you had a thing about you're changing your labels because
Possibly. We're still talking about that, but it is whenever you go into a liquor store, that thing that's on there, this like block type print that has like Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey with blah, blah, blah. That's a legal definition that's defined by the TTB. And if you look, it has to be on all distilled spirit products. So you run across some really goofy ones out there. So if you look at botanical vodkas, there's some of those are labeled as spirit drink. And I'm like, what is that?
Spirit, what?
Yeah,
Little
yeah. So
loophole.
just take
I've
some
never
time
looked
to
for that.
look
Now
at
I
it.
want to.
Yeah, so I mean that's just part of this craft that a lot of people don't know because, I mean, frankly, we don't talk about it very often because nobody finds the regulatory part particularly sexy, but it profoundly affects the industry.
it does. It really does.
I mean, fair. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, so there's fun things like that, and it's all meant to make it to where you're not, as a consumer, not being duped. Um, many years ago, I accidentally bought a bottle of Irish creamer for St. Patrick's Day, and it turned out it was made with wine. It wasn't made with whiskey.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
That's a
They
thing.
can-
and
they can
I
do
didn't
that?
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. What?
Yeah, I bought it at the store, and I got home, and I went, huh. And I flipped it around and said, made with neutral grape wine.
Well,
Huh.
it's funny because what we had one of our earlier episodes, Chris. You said, Chris or JB, you said like you like the transparency on bottles. You
Maybe.
like that,
Both of us have said that.
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, yeah, probably both of us, but yeah.
like having the transparency on the bottles of what you're buying, what you're drinking is very important.
It is, and it's important for consumers to understand it. Yeah, and I want to be able to tell people as much as I can about our process, for sure.
Just not the time.
Just not the time.
Yeah. But hey, we cannot reveal the secret sauce.
We will not do that.
That's the one thing I
We
won't
could
do.
do that off camera later, right?
Yeah.
No. I hit stop.
Which is right. Which is fair though. Like I understand, like as someone that harps on transparency a lot, I do understand that there's certain things that you do need to hold as a secret for, your competitors, which may be your friends at the end of the day, but
makes you
that's a
what you
story for a
are.
different
I
day.
mean, really.
Yeah. But that it's nice to know.
Especially with the Ambrana, because the Ambrana is like just a little bit, and it's it's got to be.
But yeah, but it's nice
it
to know
changes the
like
flavor.
that you do Amberana spirals.
I do love
because
all
some
these
people are like,
samples.
oh, like we're doing Amberana barrels, and I'm like, nope, done. Like that's too much. But a spiral, all right, now we're talking. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, and with some of these exotic woods that we bring in, like balsamo, like amberana, and I would probably lump cherry wood in this as well. If you were to go the full barrel, because American whiskey culture really likes the word cask, it likes the word barrel on the label. It does not like, consumers don't always like the word wood. And I understand that, but it gives you a layer of control, and then you can use those woods in the context that which they are supposed to be used. Amberana and balsamo are traditionally blended in with other things when they're dumped in bottles.
That makes
Or-
sense. If you could describe it a little deeper.
Okay, yeah. So,
Not, I'm saying, like, if you could describe it on a label, like, so it's not Amberana. I mean, it's Amberana, but it's Amberana, but blended into this, and this. People like to know that sort of stuff sometimes.
well, what I was meaning more in this context of like Chicasa production, also how the Brazilians make their not rum, it's rum, and
It's
you're gonna get some angry Portuguese comments on that one.
I'll send it to my I'm going to send it to my Portuguese friends just to see what they say now.
Yeah, it's made with sugar cane. It's looks like rum. So anyway,
Fernando, where are you at?
So, to my understanding on that production culture, there's a couple different ways. Is they'll either make smaller barrels out of these exotic woods and then blend them together at bottling, or they'll have a barrel that they have and they add cubes to the barrel to flavor it with it. So they're having the same ones because while Chicasa is a completely different thing, it's closer to like most Americans, if they go down the rum rabbit hole, they might know rum agricole is a class of rum. It's like a grassy, funky French rum. And that's going to have a very different profile compared to like Jamaican rums that are molassesy and rich. And those woods are going to interact differently with it. So it's blended together. And if you do the full barrel, you're not going to get the nuances of it. You're getting hammered with it.
Makes sense.
It gets too strong.
So, don't want to hold you too long here, but my question, when you're doing some of these Amberana ones, are you doing this by barrel or by batch when you're dropping the spirals in?
We do all of the finishes that you have in the barrel. It stays in the
That's cool.
barrel. We do it in the warehouse. We have kind of a general time frame that I know it's going to be in there, and then we do it. Now, when I do some of the limited time releases, where I'm kind of under a tighter window, I will get those dumped over into a tank and finish them in a tank with the wood. And that's because I, as a philosophy, get scared of variation and risk because it's really hard to fix something when it gets way off flavor profile. So
Right.
It's easier from a statistics standpoint to sample 3 or 4 tanks than it is 40 barrels.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that makes tons of sense, honestly.
So you're directly doing the finishes is not coming from your other location that you guys have. You're just getting the whiskey from them, and then and then it's going out to consumers.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
So like you guys said, you get your stuff from your old other warehouse, right? And then you bring it in here. Is this directly from your process that you're doing, or is it coming directly from that? And you're like, hey, we have it down to a science of how long it's this, and then it goes out.
Yeah, we have a general range of time we start doing the tasting on that.
Okay.
It is in our warehouse.
And then this comes from you guys.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
so I should probably clear that up. The Western Kentucky Distillery has shared ownership with our parent company.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes
So
sense.
the guy who is one of the chief investors of RD1 also is
Okay.
that makes more sense. Yeah, it's got shared corporate parentage is the way I'm kind of put that. So it's kind of like a cousin distillery is how I describe it. So
Makes sense.
yeah, I don't know. All of that stuff gets kind of hairy. I know people get really geeky about it, but
Right.
I'm just really happy that I get consistent barrels that I can blend and then do experiments on the finishing side with.
And I
There
feel
you
like
go.
the consistency makes it easier for you in the long run as well. Like if you can get that consistency, you know how to blend it easier in the long run to put out for.
Yeah, and then a lot of times it's also you're trying to figure out what's going on in the warehouse. You can see some of that as it develops. Like I have some barrels that are developing this really cool bubblegum flavor.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but it's neat. And then I have other barrels.
Is that a certain finish or just regular?
That's just the straight. It just it manifests this bubblegum
Interesting.
flavor.
It's crazy how one barrel next to each other could be different. It's just
Single
wild.
barrels with bubblegum flavor coming.
I'll see it starting at 5. You can find it occasionally at a 5-year. It gets more prominent at 6 and 7, and then goes away at 8.
Really?
Yeah,
So that flavor really could disappear almost by the month, not necessarily by the year. Like once you get to that 7 to 8 year mark, you can kind of see when it disappears.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it does change. And you know, I had this a bottle of something I was working on. I was working on my cousin's house. I was helping him with some construction, laying a new floor, and I had whiskey in my truck because I always do.
as one
sound like an
blender
alcoholic.
master
Welcome to
distiller
the
would
club.
have. Yeah, right.
Well, it was just like leftover samples.
It's his
And
job.
then I give it to my dad, and he's just like, "That's the best whiskey I ever had." And I was like, "Okay, I'll remember that." So I give him a bottle, 6 months later for Christmas. Like I go into the warehouse to pull it, and I give it to him, and he's just like, "Is that the same barrel?" And I go, "It is." And he goes, "Tastes completely different." So yeah, it's just the profiles can change over time, just like proof changes in the warehouse.
And that's what I
Interesting.
love about the whole whiskey.
I like
the
nerding out on the
bourbon-
silence.
the bourbon
or
thing.
the signs.
The
Like,
silence.
I just
golly.
love how
Silence.
subtle the changes can be and have such a big impact with the whole whiskey bourbon, like industry, distilling, everything. Also, the bubblegum one, RD Bubble Yum would be a great name for that. Putting
I
that
think
up.
we had a group come and buy one of those barrels, and I think they called it Bubblelicious. It's the name they put on it? And I was-
Damn. We got Bubble
See,
Yum
but
from Games and
Bub-
Mash, Todd. We're
But
good.
Bubblelicious ain't as good as Bubble Yum RD1.
RD Bubble Yum instead of RD1. Just
It's
saying.
always
we trade-
fascinating to see what people put on their single barrel picks, like
On the
names.
tater stickers, yeah, the one the wine and spirits had in Georgia was a cinnamon, like the cinnamon toast crunch, and they were getting squashed or something like that. It was funny.
Well, I wasn't really meaning on the Gator stickers, because like
Okay.
when people, well, those are fun too. I've seen some hilarious ones. There's one that they have a nickname for me here called Dr. Wood, and and they're like, they wrote it like a prescription label, and I'm like, and I
That's
rolled
good.
my eyes because that is like a no from a legal standpoint. Like I could not make that label, but you can have that as a tater sticker on it all day
We
long.
love that.
You can't
Yeah,
make
Game
that.
Set
at
Mash
all.
times Dr. Wood.
Yeah, Dr. Wood.
Our friend Will did that for one of the tater stickers at my store that I work with, and it was a full blown prescription label on the back of a bullet bottle to kind of like go back on the throwback. And I was like, "Is that really legal? Like, can we do
Nope.
that?"
I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, that is explicitly forbidden. So
I mean, tater stickers aren't really legal.
They're not
anyway.
once you
labels.
buy it, you can do whatever you want to it. But I'm saying,
Sure.
like, I couldn't sell it to you. Like,
Well, most of the time, a
Yeah.
lot of the times the tater sticker sits at the store. Now we do it where we give them the sticker if it's bought in the store, and then they can put it on themselves if they want.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. But like, I couldn't sell it. Like, but I was
Yeah.
meaning more of like when people buy single barrels from us, we can customize the label.
Okay. That's
So
cool.
it's like generally it's like a white and gold label, but then like what you want to call it, the fanciful name and the logo, that's off to you guys. And there was one group in Houston that called theirs Gulf of America. And I was like, oh, that one's in that area of Houston, it went over really well. But
It's not
I was like, if
gonna
you are
go
on the-
over well everywhere.
I was like, if you're on the Gulf, that probably was fine.
it cracked me up because like some of the reactions from some of the retail stores was just like, that's a little spicy. And I go, I didn't pick it.
Like, yeah, you
Yeah,
have
they were
no
like,
control.
that's not up
My
to
hands
me.
are off that one. We not part of that.
Oh yeah. So you guys have any other questions? Anything you want to dive into on this? Any burning questions about any whiskey stuff?
No, I would say you've been more than generous. You have provided us with enough information. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for this.
And the whiskey.
Thank you for the samples and everything, Jared. We appreciate you so much. And I am looking forward to seeing what you got there at Kentucky Bourbon
Yeah.
Festival in September. This year is over my birthday.
I wish
so
I
I'm
can
happy.
go. So
Yeah, we'll see if I can make it.
But thank you for coming on the podcast. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to get out and talk with folks and get a chance to get nerdy and get deep into this stuff. It's really fun to get a chat about that.
I learned
Particularly
a lot, that's for sure.
Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
You're
Yeah.
blending all day
nerding
and
out
like
was-
bunker.
Mm.
I'm like, okay, I need to talk to people.
Yeah.
You gotta get out. You gotta
And
get
the
out
green
from
screen
the,
was phenomenal.
get
Yeah,
out.
I
the
know
green
it's a
screen was
really
great.
good green screen.
Put down the crackers for a minute and talk to some people.
Yeah,
But nerding out with some of that, more technical stuff was fantastic. As someone that did not go to college but loved science, like, thank you. Like, that was
Thank
what
you
I
very
needed.
much.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thanks again.